Right. Someone asked me to give a brief synopsis of this on a live stream, but the internet died. So this is my book, 50 Ways to Torture the Sloth. So if you're watching this, I'm glad you found this. It wasn't me that ended the stream, it was the internet. So if the title don't give it away, it's 50 different ways you could torture the sloth. And I'll read you the introduction, innit? I've never done a book that is even loosely related to me taxidermy, but quite a lot of people think that I kill animals, which is ridiculous. Think about how hard it'd be to run my business if I was also having to keep animals alive until I needed to kill them, or even worse, the time involved in hunting mice out in the wild streets of England, knocking about down ginnels with a net and a toffee hammer. I wouldn't be able to sell a pair of mouse testicles for less than a tenner if I was doing all this extra work. I buy the animals already dead. I've always wanted to do a book like this though, like 50 Ways to Torture a Sloth. And maybe I'll do more. By the time you're reading this, there may even be Patreon exclusive series of me audibly acting these things out as like mini podcasts, which I haven't done, but I might start doing. There is mini podcasts on my Patreon. Who knows? But I've always found the idea of some people abusing animals funny. A lot in the same way that the idea of a sexual deviant can be funny. The idea that they wake up in the morning and instead of reaching for a tobacco or going to make themselves a coffee, they have a stretch and think to themselves, might as well buy an hamster and throw it through a blender later on. Or how a sexual deviant might walk down the street and impulsively flash their genitals at a stranger with as much thought or planning going into it as a normal person would the cigarette. You know, I'm already out, so I might as well while I'm walking kind of attitude. Or, oh, I'm already here. Or, it saves me nipping out in the cold later on. So what about if instead of showing the cock to a stranger on the bus or pressing their arsehole against the living room window as people go by, they were thinking that, you know, what about if I could cause harm to a sloth? The dirty fucking things, and I really don't get the love for them that the general public seems to have. They've got dangerous looking claws, they're obviously pretty strong, and if they hold onto trees upside down all the time, they're going to be pretty strong in it, and they're really boring and all. They're covered head to toe in algae, and I imagine riddled in disease and parasites, and they offer nothing apart from to people who want to sell coasters to visitors of zoos. Bollocks to them. Now, I'm not suggesting anyone should kill the sloths, just like I'm not suggesting someone should flash an unwitting bystander, but just in the same way that a pervert might think, oh, she's asking for it, there's got to be people who look at sloths and think, fucking smug cunt, it's practically begging for an hiding. So I've come up with 50 different ways to torture a sloth. It doesn't have to be the same sloth, but apparently they're pretty rare, innit? So maybe it's best if a person was to do this, they should spread it out over a number of years to allow the sloth to recover. Not from an environmental standpoint or a preservation point of view, just out of sheer practicality. It'd be hard enough to get your hands on one sloth in a zoo, and I imagine once you get caught messing about with a sloth in one zoo, someone somewhere is going to make it all so all the other zoos are very aware of your presence in the world. So instead, just enjoy these as an outlet. Who knows, if this goes down well, maybe it'll be the first of many books with a direct sequel. 50 Ways to Harm a Barn Owl, 50 Ways to Skin a Rat, but I should probably save that as a pun for any future biography I write. 101 Ideas to Disappoint Your Duck. Endless possibilities. I want you to have a bit of fun with this. So next up, you've got the contents page, but the numbers are going to be blank and they're all in the wrong order, and it's up for you to figure out which drawing is depicted with the described torture method on the contents page. If you're unsure, then maybe you should take to Twitter or TikTok and use hashtag 50sloths to see if anyone else can help you out with it. I just like the idea of when all of this is happening, the sloth's lanky arms are just flailing around like they've got, you know, a dozen elbows in each one. Enjoy. Then you've got the contents page, and then there's you can have that one, like matches in its ears, weigh it down to the ground. What do you reckon? Has it convinced you to go and give the book a go?